One of the areas of politics that should transcend political party is that of corruption and cronyism. We should all want what Donald Trump promised us, which is draining the swamp, ending the status quo of lobbyists and Wall Street people running government, getting rid of the corrosive corporate influence in government, all of that stuff. But of course, Trump hasn't done it, right? He's made it worse. He's filled the swamp. And now is in what I guess I can only describe as a brazen and almost cartoonish act of cronyism and swamp filling. Trump wants his personal pilot to run the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. Remember how before flying on Air Force One as president, Trump had his own plane? It was a Boeing 757. That plane had a pilot. The guy's name is John Dunkin. And apparently John Dunkin, spelled like Dunkin' Donuts, apparently doesn't have much to do now since Air Force pilots fly Air Force One. And we've learned that John Dunkin is on the short list of finalists to run the FAA, which regulates all of civil aviation in the United States and has a budget of more than $16 billion. Now, naturally, the Trump administration is saying, oh, this has nothing to do with John Dunkin being Trump's private pilot. It's just that he's really qualified. A White House official said, oh, John Dunkin has managed corporate flight department and he's gone through the process of certifying an airline and he was overseeing all of Trump's presidential campaign air fleet, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, the truth is that John Dunkin has mostly just been Trump's pilot. He has no experience running large organizations, which the FAA is. And does anybody believe for a second that John Dunkin would even be on the long list of FAA directors if he weren't currently the president's former pilot, never mind the short list? Even Republican Senator John Thune, who would be leading the vetting, hopefully extreme vetting, of the FAA nominee, said that Dunkin would have a difficult road ahead if he were to be nominated for this position. This is the epitome of crony capitalism.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, right?
Trump's not picking the experts. He's picking the people that he knows.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, Jared Kushner, my son-in-law, he needs a job. I can make him in charge of solving peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, he'll get that
Ben
wrapped
Carson,
up.
he's a black guy. He can be in charge of HUD.
Yeah, right, because it has the word urban in it. I would actually go further. If you're going to go and say John Dunkin is going to run the FAA, make Trump's Boeing 757 flight attendant deputy director of the FAA. Like, just go full in and get everybody who was working on that plane a new job. This is disgusting and it's laughable. And it barely even registers in the list of the 10 crazy things that have happened in the last 24 hours.
To be fair, though, Duncan is a handsome guy, though. I mean, he looks like he was out of Central Casting, and we know
Super
that
elegant.
Trump likes the good-looking people in his administration.
That's
he put,
exactly
Mike
right.
Pence in as vice president, Neil Gorsuch as a Supreme Court justice.
Wait a second. Pence is a good-looking guy?
According to Trump, yeah.
Has he said that?
Yeah.
That's
he looks the part.
stunning to me. That is absolutely stunning. When I see Pence, I don't think this is an offensive term, but every time I use it, I tread carefully. Doesn't Pence have pedophile eyes?
Oh, yeah, I would have to analyze that, I think.
I look closely at Pence, and by the way, I'm not going to name names, but there's lots of other people in the Trump administration not exactly rating as someone primed to be an Instagram model in their post-politics days.